Hey y'all, hey. So it's your sugar here. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, right? When we miss a day, it's like a long time, right? So, I mean, we back. Y'all know what time it is. It's around 7:30 on a Wednesday night, and sugar is tuned in. Listen, if y'all are here, y'all are at the Natalie Sugar Brown show where I Me, Natalie Sugar Brown, woman pugilist, talk that talk about women's boxing. Been there, done that, okay? Um, got the t-shirt got my face on it, okay? This is where we come and we have a conversation, real conversations about the industry of women's boxing. We have some learning moments and some teaching moments, but we want to talk that talk. I invite you guys, my misfits out here, to tell me what you think. Tell me what you hearing out here in the boxing scene when it comes to us women who behave badly out here. Okay? Now, I always say this, those who are new, there's no such thing as a silly question. We not even there's nothing stupid when it comes to you just having this conversation and wanting to know about women behaving badly here, women's boxing, okay? And those who are true, we just want to keep it 100, right? So you say what you want to say, right? And I love you for chiming in and saying what you want to say on this sugar show. But we want to always keep it 100, right? We want to respect each other, and we're gonna respecting each other also, or includes, right? Um, Knowing when to say, you know what, we're going to agree to disagree. Okay? That's like a fad statement, but I believe in it, right? Sometimes we just got to agree that we on two different sides of the fence. But listen, I'll hand you something off my grill once in a while, and vice versa, right? If we on both sides of the fence. Now, um, tonight's episode, and I don't know sorry, Sugar got so much going on over here in the Sugarverse, okay? I call it the Sugarverse because um, y'all, the Sugar ain't in cyberspace um, very much unless it's when I'm meeting with you guys, okay? And so, tonight, I don't know how long we're going to have together, but we're going to make it a party when we link up. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so tonight's episode is titled Win, Lose, and Draw. Okay, um, and we're going to run down, this upcoming rematch that's about to happen between Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor. We're also going to talk about this, this little melee upset robbery. People can't believe that the prospect from out of the UK, Sandy Ryan, just got, um, she just got uh, well, okey doked, shenaniganed by, the notorious for doing that, Jessica McCaskill, right, down in Florida recently. So, great, decent fight. I watched it, decent fight, but I always said, we're going to talk about it down the line. I have my thoughts about Homegirl, and people think I be hating, but I'm not hating. I know what it do out here. I know what in order to, this kind of bugging me, y'all. My picture ain't even straight. I mean, I just got like these things, you know what I'm saying? These things, anyway, um, where was I? These things, the Sandy Ryan prospect, I, from her performance, I do believe, she's got something going, she got it going on, okay, but She needs a little bit more seasoning, and we want to talk about that getting down in the show. Now, lovely assistant. Let's start off with the first image. I don't think I have many images. We want to start off with the first one. All right, so we're going to kick it off with this one, okay? You see these two broads here, right? And the one to the far left, Chantel Cameron, and to, my immediate left right here, Katie Taylor will be fighting very soon in their rematch for I believe it will be for um the junior welterweight title again, or yeah. So Chantel Cameron, she won the their face off or their match the last time, and so Katie Taylor is trying to spin back, and get her victory back for this second time. Y'all let me know what y'all are thinking about this rematch. The, the thing about Katie Taylor for me now at this point is, she ain't carrying enough drama to to be interesting anymore. It's been some time now. Katie Taylor, she's now they starting to call her, saying that she getting old and all this stuff, which, she's not. She's actually approaching her mid-30s, and I always say this to you guys, in women's boxing, that sweet spot is from 35 to about 42. That's when, we turn from broads to crones, and we come into our own in the ring, and that's when you see some good stuff from women's boxers. It's not when we are in our 20s. It's not, you get some good action even younger than that, but when a broad turns into a crone, 35, right on up, I said that sweet stuff, like I said, the sweet spot between 35 and 42. Okay. And then, some of us keep going right into our 50s, if we can do it. Yeah. I don't knock nobody who wants to, no lady that, or that, no lady that wants to behave badly all the way up into her 50s. If you can do it, if you can let it all hang out, and if you ain't ashamed to let us see it, well, guess what? I'm front and center. I'll buy a ticket. Um, so yes, these two women are facing off. I don't see where there's much excitement about this rematch coming up, but over in Europe, this may be a big thing. But we over here in the Americas, over in the West, in the Wild Wild West, and unless we have somebody that is stepping to either of these broads, you're not really hearing nothing about this division or anything going on. Um, who I got for the rematch? My whole thing is the way I saw Chantel Cameron handle Katie Taylor in the previous fight, in the initial fight. I think, she's got a number. Did She's got Katie's number at 140, right? You can't hit and run when you get up to 140 pounds, 145 to 147 welterweight, you know, uh, then you got, junior middleweight. You can't hit and run when you get into those weight classes. You got to stand and fight, right? You got to give a little back and forth. And so that's not Katie's style. So moving up in weight certainly won't suit Katie Taylor unless she reinvents herself and she decides now that she's going to stand and fight now instead of, you know, that track star uh, style that she has, right? Being the road runner, right? Now you got to turn into the coyote, right? Now you got to trap a bitch, now you got to herd abroad. Now you got to be, uh, now you got to be dangerous, right? Now you got to be hurting people, right? You can't hit and run no more. Now, let's get into the subject matter of tonight. Lovely assistant. What's my next image? Okay. So we're talking about this prospect, Sandy Ryan. Now, she fought Marie Poole or Hole or something. Goodness. Sorry, y'all. My notes got scattered, so I ain't even got it this for the show. But Marie is out of Talking Fight. My Talking Fight guys in the background. Y'all let me know. She's out of Quebec, right? If y'all got some numbers and statistics, drop them here in the thread, okay? Um, so she stepped up. Marie actually fought Sandy Ryan over there in the UK. So it seemed like Sandy Ryan was getting some momentum behind her. People is starting to believe in her. Now you look at her record: 6 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Okay, so Marie de Carre. Now that name got something behind it. Is Marie de Carre? Is she the one who fought Jeanette? I'm not sure. Y'all know who Jeanette is. Um, is she the one who fought Jeanette? The one who died in the ring a couple years ago? I'm not sure. But Marie de Carre, from out of Quebec, is a pretty strong contender. So kudos to Sandy Ryan for stepping up to that challenge. But there was a little safety net there because now Marie, who, I mean, Quebec fighters rarely fight outside of their home of Quebec, actually flew out to the UK to fight Sandy Ryan. Now, like I said, there's some kind of cushioning there because now this broad, she coming to your porch. She coming in your front yard to fight you, and mama and them, and the family ain't gonna let you get beat on the front lawn, right? So Sandy Ryan did well in the fight. I'll give it to her, right? But not much longer after, she then steps up to challenge the champ, Jessica McCaskill, who has been, what I've noticed is Jessica McCaskill, since taking the title from Cecilia Brækhus, as someone who should be fighting, or a fighter, has only fought 4 times in 4 years, 4 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be a champion. You're supposed to be a fighter. You're supposed to be, oh, so Michael Orr comes in. Hey, Mike. Hey, baby. Hey, Mike. Michael Orr is chiming in. He done joined the party tonight. I'm excited. Saying Marie de Carre fought Natasha Jonas. Okay. And their last fight was in the UK. Absolutely. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. A strong contender in Marie de Carre out of Quebec, Canada. Okay, fighting Jonas. Now Jonas is that gal right now. Okay, she's sitting pretty on her porch. She got all the belts. Okay, they all matching all her outfits. Okay, All right. She ain't trying to go to no. She ain't trying to beg nobody for no spot. Right. You want her, you got to come on her porch and come get her spot or try to get her spot. And I like that. That's number one. And Jonas is not, she's not scared to fight. Jonas has fought contenders, pretty solid contenders so far, um, in maintaining her place as the middleweight champion of the world right now. Now, some smoke, it looked like some smoke was gathering up or coming up. There was previous talks earlier in the summer about a possible Shields versus Jonas showdown, but the money wasn't right? Jonas is like, you know, you gotta pay me. You gotta pay me to play me. You know what I'm saying? And I like it. So it didn't pan out. And so with that, and the whole, Savannah Marshall now regaining some kind of relevancy, because yes, after she fought Shields, she went down, she was back in the bargain bill bin. Okay, nobody was trying to get that. She was too difficult of a fighter for anybody to say, oh, I'm gonna fight this one, except for that. I think Franchon Cruz was trying to also prove something, or maybe them sanctioning fees for all the belts she had. She was like, listen, I can't afford to be champion. So, hey, Savannah, you want to fight for this? You want to fight for these belts? I'm willing to die for this fight or whatever it is, but please, take these bills off my hands, because each belt is a bill. Right? I already been through this with y'all, so you know it. Each belt is a bill. Now, Savannah Marshall, undisputed champion at now super middleweight, 168 pounds. Okay. Clarissa Shields, undisputed champion at middleweight. And is it middleweight? And then I think Natasha Jonas is undisputed champion at junior middleweight. Y'all, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we got some, we got some we got some substance here in the middleweight division, and we have some also, some pretty decent contenders. Now going down into the welterweight division, it's starting to get zombie like, right? Because there's no, after Breakus came out, got defeated by McCaskill, 147 wasn't as hot anymore, right? Everybody started running to where Shields can go to, because Shields is the draw. You fight Shields, money is going to be invested, money is going to be made, right? At this point now, because Shields is on, I guess, a bit of a vacation, or she then hopped in another neighborhood where she's now with PFL. They treating her good. She then signed with them. Looks like they promising her some money. She gonna do MMA for a little bit, and guess who went and followed her? Savannah Marshall. Why? Well, Savannah Marshall ain't gonna get anybody. There's no contenders, unless Christina Hammer wants to step in and make a fire. Because that match, I've mentioned this before. That match, Savannah Marshall versus Christina Hammer, would be a good draw, a good money making opportunity for both of them. And, it'd be a good match for women's boxing. They are closer, they're getting closer and closer to the heavies. And I've been waiting for some heavyweight smoke, or some light heavyweight, some heavyweight thunder to start clapping in the women's boxing world, right? Why not have some badass big broads go at it, right? Some marketable big broads that just behave badly, get in there and add some flavor to the pot of women behaving badly, because we already we've been busy for a very long time in the lighter weights. I want to see some big girl empowerment happen very soon. Intoway, Sandy Ryan gets the opportunity, and very fast, after fighting Marie DeCarey. No, I don't think it's. You know what? Y'all gonna make me let me. I'm gonna have to look in my phone. I'm gonna have to look in my phone, because I don't think it was Mary. Um, I don't think it was DeCarey. Let's see. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all know sometimes when it rains, it pours. So, and we got a little bit of time. Let me see if I can. Bear with me, please. Now, see, Michael, you lucky. You lucky I'm not on your block, because I'd run up on you. It ain't Marie DeCarey, because I know, I'm like, she too big. Marie DeCarey, that's up there in Shields and Jonas's them division. It's Mary Pierre Hole. She the one. Yeah, she's the one who fought. Yeah, she the one who killed off Jeanette Zacharias Zapata from Mexico. Yeah, she's the one. Her name is linked with that. Michael Orr says, yes, you're correct. My mistake. Well, I'm glad we got it straight. But yeah, so she's trying to come back low key. But I'm telling you, like, when you do, like I said, boxing is a karmatic sport, right? So when you're involved in some stuff like what ended up happening with that tragedy, like, you got blood on your hands. You ain't nothing good is going to ever come your way. That's just how it is. Um, Argue with your mama, right? I done been in this industry long enough to know that there's a higher power that speaks. When that higher power get ready to speak, there's nothing and nobody that can counteract or can do anything to stop that that higher voice. Anyway, so Sandy Ryan fights, brought her Marie, and maybe one day she'll know how it feels to be, a lamb taken to the slaughter. But she flew over to the UK, fought Sandy Ryan, and recently she fought, okay, after her loss, because Quebec fighters like to get their win back. Um, Fought a Cindy Espinoza, who whose record is 4 wins, 1 loss, in a 10 rounder, just to get the W back, just to get her number back up on her record. But let me tell you something, Marie, you, you take it to God, take it to you pay, you know, do right by Jeanette and her people, them, and maybe, just maybe, something good will happen for you. But I digress. Sandy Ryan then, you know, steps up, like I said, almost yeah, steps up a couple months later because she fought Mary Pierre in April. Okay, so now we're in September. Sandy Ryan just fought Jessica McCaskill for all the belts, for the rest of the belts, because she fought Marie for, I think it was the WBO belt, which McCaskill got stripped of when she fought Chantel Cameron. They were like, no, we're not playing that, right? We are going to strip you. We're going to do right by the rules. And we know that you have you left your title, you left your weight division to go down and fight somebody. You lost, so we're going to strip this belt. We're going to strip this belt off of you, and we're going to give somebody an opportunity to take it and make some money on it. The rest of the sanctioning bodies now, they're there. They stuck with McCaskill, and McCaskill and her people, they find ways to pay that bill. Okay, so Sandy Ryan got herself some weight up, got herself an opportunity to fight McCaskill. But McCaskill still had that leverage, and McCaskill didn't have to fly over to the UK to fight Sandy Ryan. Sandy Ryan, because she had more belts and I guess she had more leverage, had to fly over to fight Jessica McCaskill down over here in the U.S., down in Florida. Okay, so that's where the fight just recently happened this past weekend. Now, I watched this fight. Well, I watched a bit of this fight because um, I'm, I figured this, you see McCaskill fight one time, you going like she ain't going to do much else besides windmill. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I know is going to happen in the fight. Sandy Ryan, I'll wait. I said she needed a bit more seasoning and whatnot. So I checked in to see how she was going to do against McCaskill, and she actually did excellent versus Jessica McCaskill. The only difference is, or where I differ with everyone's gasp about this so-called robbery against Sandy Ryan, is that Sandy outboxed McCaskill, but she didn't beat her, right? This the pros. The only person that gets away with boxing and playing tag in the ring is Katie Taylor. No one else is going to get away with that bullshit, okay? And Sandy Ryan, though she did an excellent job of boxing and hurting Jessica McCaskill several times, she didn't beat her up like she should have, right? And a lovely assistant, if you could change the image here, that's Jessica McCaskill. So you see, one fighter has about, I think, 7 fights or 7 or 8 fights. You got McCaskill here, who has 16 fights in all now, including the fight that just happened over the weekend. And Jessica McCaskill only fights once a year. You know what I'm saying? So, like, It is what it is. Sandy Ryan should have known what she was walking into, right? Um, Boxing has been around long enough, and McCaskill's track record has been clear enough for anyone fighting her to know that if you fight her, you have to attempt to kill her in there, right? Not saying, I'll kill her. But what I'm saying is, you ain't going to beat Jessica McCaskill on no, well, almost, you know. When Jessica McCaskill, when Chantel Cameron beat McCaskill, Cameron beat Jessica McCaskill's ass in there, right? She beat her ass. She threw her around in there. She roughed her up. She showed McCaskill, bitch, this ring belongs to me tonight. You're a guest on this is my porch now. It was your porch, or that we was fighting for the porch, bitch, this is my porch now, right? And so Chantel Cameron handedly deserves that victory. Now, this fight where Sandy Ryan steps up to McCaskill had all the ingredients of a good fight, right? The ingredients was there, but there was no seasoning. Seasoning. I know what I'm talking about, y'all. Okay? You got to give respect to this broad right here. Jessica McCaskill, right? She got the game. She got her corner in the game, right? She been in here for a while. She been around long enough now to be a name, okay? She's only fighting once a year. You and your people have to see what the climate is, right? You can't get a decision against a fighter like this unless you draw blood, you fold her, you stop her, or unless you got that money that you dropping on these sanctioning bodies. Because at the end of the day, Jessica and her people, they going to pay for those belts. They going to pay that rent. They're going to find that rent money, right? And Ramos going to say, Jessica, you better get your ass in there, and you better take that beating, and you better stay on your feet so we can keep these belts, because that's how we're eating, right? So, like, you can't play around in there with McCaskill. It ain't that it's not that she's a great fighter. No, she's not, right? It's that she's got her she's got her ducks in a row. Her shit's together, okay? Her people, Ramos and that they know what the setup is, right? Her porch is sturdy, okay? Now, Ryan, like I said, and I have a misfit. I have one of my misfits that chimes in quite frequently. I thought that they would come tonight, but I guess, since we skipped out last week, it's going to take me some time to get you guys's, to get y'all back on a schedule with me that we want to meet up and link up and we want to chat about it. I believe it's Women's Boxing Channel. Okay? Big Sandy Ryan fan, right? We even got into, like, it even affected our relationship, or has affected our relationship, where they stopped talking to me and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then we got back together again, me and Women's Boxing Channel. We got back together, and then we kicked off again over this little broad. Okay, so, feeling confident. Even drop hints on my show that going to take her to the airport, drop her off because she getting ready for the fight. See, you ain't think that I'd put two and two together, and knew that it was possibly this fight that you was helping out with Women's Boxing Channel, but it is what it is, right? So you in Sandy Ryan's corner, and you know we all need we all need our day ones. I'm glad that you're a day one for Sandy Ryan, right? But you gotta listen, right? You gotta listen. You can't take what a veteran, or you can't take what's a crone like me that's been in the sport. You can't take what we have to say personally, right? You got to take it and know that I'm giving you a tool. I'm dropping you a jewel, right? Because I don't have to even speak on I didn't have to speak on this little broad, right? Right now, she in the bargain bin. Yeah, okay. She's very talented. But number one, that attitude, okay? That ain't championship. She's not marketable because of her attitude. Number two, she hasn't matured into how fast she's moving. Number three, she hasn't had the fights that she needs so she can be seasoned. So she lacks seasoning, okay? Wonderful prospect, okay? Now, that was the thing um, that was why Sandy Ryan didn't win her fight versus Jessica McCaskill. Watching the fight, and I was hoping someone would chime in. Sandy Ryan even went as far as folding McCaskill in the fight. McCaskill looked like she wanted to lose in the fight. Flat-footed, wasn't moving, hands down. It's like, Sandy, you've been running all this time. You've been sparring. You've been weightlifting. You've been doing everything it takes. This is your moment. This is on some Eminem. Lose yourself in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And you giving her chances to breathe. You giving her chances to catch her breath. You giving her chances to recover. You're doing punch for punch with her. No, right? Somebody in her corner needs a bit more seasoning when it comes to being a championship fighter, trainer, right? You could be, there's different levels of being a coach and a trainer too, right? You can train and coach a fighter who is a good prospect. Then you can train and coach a fighter who is a prospect and is being groomed to win. Here's where you need a good trainer. You need a trainer to make you a champion, a trainer that knows how to make champions. Now, I was blessed to have one for my last fight of my career, but timing is everything, right? Coach Sergey was a champion trainer, or is a champion trainer, and he's out of Canada. I would also say my initial coach, and there has been coaches in between. Johnny Gant is a trainer, champion trainer, right? So there's a difference between a trainer of a fighter that wins and a trainer of a champion fighter. Sandy girl, you need to get a coach that's going to make you a champion. Just because you have a belt doesn't mean you're a champion, okay? And you'll see the difference in fighters who are champions. For some champions pay the bill, right? This champion right here, I haven't seen where she's proven herself to be a champion besides her corner and her people she has a champion team. But this one still has to prove herself. Clarissa Shields, champion, right? She has been knocked on her ass. She has gotten up. She has been taken through hard fights. Savannah Marshall was a very hard fight for Clarissa Shields. Champion. Shanicia Estrada, champion. Okay? See how she operates in there. Amanda Serrano, champion. You see how she operates in there, right? Watch the fight, you guys. Jessica McCaskill, who's supposed to be the champ, I think around rounds, the last couple rounds, round 7, 8, 9, right down to 10, she there looking for the ref to save her. She's looking for the ref. Ref, she's actually hitting me. Stop her. Stop her from hitting me. Right? You saw where Ryan unraveled her, but Ryan didn't have the seasoning to end it. Because you got to end a fighter like this. Right? She got the ref in her pocket. She got the judges in her pocket. She got all the belts. You got to end her. You got to make her stop fighting. You got to hurt her in there. You are in a unique position where it's just you and her in there. And you have a fighting chance. You're the one who can make the decision to be a champion. Okay? So, I said that to say this. At this point, lovely assistant, if you can change my image. Please. Please? You sleep? Wake up. Lovely assistant, come on now. Thank you. This is how they were this is how they were selling the fight. It looked good. It looked like it was going to be a great showdown. McCaskill came in out of shape. Out of shape. She looked strong. She did look strong, but she was out of shape. She wasn't moving. She was standing flat-footed in the ring. She was trying to find a place to get be comfortable. She was waiting on Ryan. This was the perfect fight for Ryan, right? Well, what happened? Ryan didn't get a chance to mature into her opportunity. So now, where she could, look at this. If she had defeated McCaskill, look at this marketing, right? Look at this marketing. They did well with the both of them. Both of them look fierce. Both of them look like some serious women in women's boxing, right? This right here can pull some money. If Ryan was able to pull it off, she said it too, and she came back in the little video after, where she was all moist. She was all moist in her eyes and all hurt, right? This is Sandy Ryan, who don't know what to say out her mouth, who's kind of obnoxious, calling people clowns and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, laugh now, cry later. Guess who went home with her belts like nothing happened and got the draw off your hard work? The clown. You know what I'm saying? You got to step into stuff like this humble. So if anything, you have the crowd behind you. You have enough of the crowd. You have enough of the people. You're enough of the champion for the people to want to see you back in there. Right? Only the UK people care about that. She did get McCaskill got her britches booed off after the fight, yeah. But for the US, for the Westerners to really care about Sandy Ryan fighting McCaskill again, I think that's going to be a bit far-fetched. Lovely assistant, give me the other image, please. Please. Thank you, babe. Now, the funny thing about it is, Eddie Hearn talking about, it was so funny. where he came out and said, Sandy Ryan won that fight. I can't believe it. I can't believe this happened. Sandy Ryan, she did one. She got robbed. She's got robbed. He's a promoter. He didn't pay regardless. You know what I'm saying? Sanctioning by, like, he getting his cut. Win or lose, and win, whether Jessica win or Sandy win, right? He's getting paid, like, he's getting money and investors from both of them for this fight to happen. So he's like, right? So I mean, they showing his little phony face in it or whatever. Like, this guy, he's the scourge right now of women's boxing. He plays the game, and he plays the game. He playing the game like, how can I say this? He's playing the game without giving back. You know what I'm saying? Who's chiming in? Pathis. Hey, Suge. Hey, Pathis. Thanks for chiming in. So I'm here just, chatting it up about this, this fight that's happened this past weekend. Why I'm chatting it up? Because you Sandy Ryan versus Jessica McCaskill down there in Florida. And I'm talking about it because, everything's died down right now. The history hasn't been made yet for this 12-rounder coming up, and the 3-minute 12-rounder coming, and it's more history making. And I'm like, I'm bored about this damn history. I just want to see a good ass fight. I want to see two broads in the ring behaving badly, just like how we used to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on it, but my hopes are high, but still waiting. Pathis, tell me if you saw the recent match between Jessica McCaskill and Sandy Ryan. Pathis says, when I'm not going to see you interview people. Let me tell you something, Pathis, about Sugar interviewing people. Or have someone else on the show. This the Sugar Show. You want to know why I don't interview people? Because people ain't real. The only person I could count on is me. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to come on the Sugar Show. People won't come on the Sugar Show because Sugar's going to ask them questions that they're going to have real answers for. And they don't do that. To be honest, they actually scared of me out here, right? They actually thought that I was going to disappear, right? I am the one out here that I don't care about making no friends. I don't care about no celebrity female fighter. Y'all already seen that I called out the girl out on her roids. I said she looks roidy. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to blackball your girl, and turns out who came out with dirty piss. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to have nobody else on my show because this is my platform to talk about what's really happening. I'm not a fangirl, right? I'm a fan. I'm a fan of people who authentically put everything they have into what they're doing. I've had the real ones come in on my thread. They've talked the talk, Pathis, right? I've had the champions show up in my thread. I've had the women's boxing historians show up in my thread. I've had real contenders show up in the same thread where you're at, and you guys are able to ask them questions, and Sugar goes back and forth with them too. But on the Sugar Show, no. Why? Because there's a lot of it's all it's all pretentiousness. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't going to use my platform, my soapbox, to promote your little foolishness. No. I want fighters to speak by their actions, right? If a fighter think they're real, this is my platform. Come on my platform. come on the thread, talk your talk. This is where it's really real. If you got somebody that you want to call out, here go the thread. Call the bitch out. I'm here. I help you call them out. I used to do that back in the day. I wish I had someone like Suge where I can get on the platform and I could say, yo, Jelena, because I called out Jelena Bergenovich. I called out Kara Rowe. I called out Cecilia Brækhus. I called them all out, right? But because Sugar wasn't in that pay game, because Sugar wasn't in that fake game, I got blackballed. This is a platform for any fighter who thinks they're real, any fighter who wants a chance to come on here and talk their talk, right? If you want to say you want to be a guest on the Sugar Show, send me your stuff. Come on my thread. Let's talk, right? But I'm not going to be on here fangirling nobody. I'm going to ask you why you didn't fight so and so. I'm going to ask you the questions that you don't want to be asked, right? A lot of these broads out here that say they bad, say they're a champion, it's only on paper. It's only on when somebody's fangiling them. That's not what this platform's about, right? This platform is for the people, for you guys to tell us how you really feel and what you really want to see from these women's boxers. These fans, to invite them here on the platform. My guys tag them all the time, right? If they really cared, if they really wanted an authentic place to come and talk their talk and really make their money, they'd find the Sugar Show like many of the others have. That's what I got to say about that, Pathis. Pathis says, but what about calling people out on call? I mean, Pathis, I'm not sure how many of these boxing shows you've ever seen, right? But it's very rare that you will find a fighter who will actually talk their talk and show up behind a talk, right? Write the check in front of you and cash that shit. Got the guns and got everything to cash it, right? I been here the whole time. Been here for over a year, right, y'all? Yeah, I'm trying to make it to 100 episodes. I'm trying. But, stuff got me busy out here. But this is what my platform is for, Pathis, right? I Women boxers come and freaking go. They come and they go, right? I ain't got time for that. I've been here the whole time. I'm here to tell you what's going on in the world of women's boxing. The unadulterated talk. I'm here to have that conversation, right? Because there's not many conversations like this on the Sugar Show being had. Really, no, right? I've even gone on other platforms to talk that talk, right? About, oh, you interviewing so and so. They don't want to talk if Sugar going to come. Why? Because Sugar going to ask them the questions that they don't have the britches. They don't have the booty and the britches enough to stand on and answer, right? And so that's what it is. But if you want to see some interviews, Brooke D, she's always interviewing somebody on her show, right? She the interview lady. She the interview gal. And maybe one day, we can collaborate on an interview or something like that. But listen, women's boxing, they come and go. They create a false narrative around themselves, a lot of them. And when it's time to answer some real questions, they're not going to show up. So that's what it is, Pathis. If you don't want to talk the talk, or if you ain't got much to say or whatever, you could go, you could take some time off of Suge, and then when you start missing me, we come back and talk. Tell me what you learned. Tell me who you've been talking to. Tell me what you want to know. Okay? But I mean, that's really what it is, baby. Um, Now I'm gonna go back to this because, um, I, show going to probably wrap up soon. Um, I mean, I have, and I told you, I'm gonna tell y'all, I've invited some of these names, and they say, "Oh, I don't do interviews. I want to stay neutral." I'm talking about names, media, people who are in charge of the media, of the stories that are being put out here, all of this stuff. They're saying, "Oh, I don't do interview. I don't go on shows," because they want to fanboy and fangirl. They want to be friends with everybody, right? Not understanding that, you have to maintain a standard. This is not Boy Scouts, or I mean, this ain't the Scouts or Guides, right? You don't just show up and get a badge. You got to put this damn work in. You got to bleed in here. You know what I'm saying? I've bled in here. I've bled in there, right? Some of these mofos that write the stories, oh, they wrote some stories about Suge, like Suge is a stumble bum, like Suge, you know, oh, Suge can't fight or whatever. But when it comes down to it, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to stand in there with me unless they had shenanigans going on the outside. Nobody told that part of the story, right? So I'm here to tell that part of the story for a lot of these contenders that don't have a voice, for a lot of these contenders that have been ignored into oblivion because they were too hard to fight, right? Contenders like how Christina Leonardo would have disappeared, right? If somebody didn't stand up and said a bitch jawline was looking like the front end of a Honda because she on steroids. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting on some stale piss. You know what I'm saying? Only Suge got the go now. Only Suge got the heart. Suge always been a fighter. Suge never been a fangirl. Suge's name always been good in this industry, right? That's the part y'all don't know. But I'm here to tell it because my guys on Talk and Fight, they give me the platform. They believed in Suge. They've always rocked with Suge. They know Suge's the real, right? So they giving you the real. They've had some stumble bums on the platform. Some of these stumble previously, same stumble bums. Talking about they doing a women's boxing show. I'm not talking about Mike. I'm talking about these are the fake broads. Yeah, I ain't even going to give you. I'm not even going to give some of them the validity of saying their names. But yeah, hated badly on Suge. Hated hard on Suge. Tried to stop Suge. And look at me. Got my own show. And you done phased, your ass done phased out because you didn't have it. You tried to stop me. So, I mean, I can ramble on and on, right? Suge, that's one thing about Suge, your girl Suge here. Um, Old school, right? I got that old soul in me. And this is my place where we talk that talk. I grew up in the boxing gym. I grew up where there was elders, old men sitting around in the gym. Some of them were old gladiators, some of them were our old trainers. And they sit around and they talk that culture, they talk that history. They tell you what this thing is supposed to be. Well, we don't have those opportunities anymore. That culture is dying. When you walk into a boxing gym now, right? It's some fitness aerobic, you know. It's that type of stuff. It's not that place no more where you can walk up in. It's not a cronk. Ain't no more cronk no more. Where you can walk in and you see Coach Emmanuel training some champions. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a place. Aren't places anymore where you can walk in and you can see the champ in there. Not no more, right? Everyone's a celebrity. Everyone's pretty. Everyone has a little fake story behind them. So this is where how Suge keeps the culture here on Talking Fight, right? Sometimes y'all will see me on a Friday talking to Tim Witherspoon and the rest of the guys, because we keep that, we keep that cipher going, just like how it used to be back in the day when the elders and the people used to sit in the gym and talk that talk. Um, Pathis says, "Nah, I love those show. Can never stop watching. I just wondering, it would be cool to see you diss out some of these boxers. Yeah, baby. Now, I would never diss a boxer, Pathis. And I love that you say you'll never stop watching, right? Because I'll show up for you. I show up for my people, right? Win or lose, Sugar always showed up, right? But like I said, there's not many fighters out here that will stand on they name and what they doing there, because it ain't real. What you see is not real. When I tell you a fighter's real, believe it. When I tell you what the work, know that I know it, know that I seen it, because I've been there and I've done it. I talk to all of them. I know all the characters, right? Ain't nothing new, right? I'm one of those. I'm an old school. I'm an old soul in this. Um, you know, when I was a youngin, when I was a wet nose in the gym, I always wondered if I was be what kind of old lady I would be in the sport. You know what I'm saying? I always saw, the old men, the old coaches, like I said. I'm talking about old, like Bill Miller and them. You know what I'm saying? Up in Detroit, like old school, where you legends. I'm talking about, if y'all know Bill Miller, y'all know who I'm talking about. I ain't even gonna say nothing else. Y'all know, right? Um, these people that been around, Sugar Ray saw Sugar Ray Robinson, trained Sugar Ray Robinson, these type of people, and they pass their legacy on verbally in the conversations they have, right? The days that they sit there and they teach you a little bit, right? Because there's no book. You just got to be around. You got to earn your time. You got to earn the knowledge. They got to respect you enough to pour into you. Not many of us have that, because we also see in this boxing world and in this boxing culture who deserves it. I ain't going to tell everybody everything. I ain't going to give you my seasoning, my special herbs and spices. Shit. Not even Colonel Sanders. That shit's locked away somewhere. The hell I'm going to give you my special herbs and spices? You know what I'm saying? That's what's needed, and that's what's going on. That's what's becoming obsolete in women's boxing, because we used to have that. Look at the old archive fights. Look at the, retro women's fights. The people like to downplay the pioneers, the trailblazers, the foundational, the first generation, the second generation, right? Like to downplay them because, oh, they not looking clean. They not looking like these little amateurs. No, they were taught to fight. And a fight ain't clean. Not a woman's fight. You know what I'm saying? A fight ain't the same combination over and over. A fight ain't you there standing flat-footed and windmilling like that. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's not the one. That's not the fights that make money. Christy Martin versus Gingra Gergra or something like that. I could never get her name right. I was in the gym with Isra. I had to earn my stripes sparring with Isra. Right? Isra used to put the beats on my ass. You know what I'm saying? So, sorry y'all. Sorry. Somebody calling me. They don't know that the show is on. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? And then you got now broads that are traveling because now they got the money. They done got loans. They can invest in themselves because now they can fight. They have platforms that they can fight on, right? They don't have to really prove themselves anymore, right? Promoters are willing to put a broad on a show now. You had to earn your name before. You had to earn your trainer before. You had to be bad enough that a dude, somebody out there said, you know what? I'm going to show up every day at the gym and train your badass because I believe in you, right? There's no understanding of what it means for women's boxing to have gotten this far. Where now some of these glorified amateurs are able to make the money they're making, right? Because us before laid a foundation. Us before made the value that they can capitalize off of now, right? They don't know none of our names. They don't know what we did. They don't know what groundbreaking matches that got people interested enough to watch their little raggedy ass do some amateur shit in there now. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about Cat Days and them. They don't know names. This is women's boxing. These are little girls. These are broads, right? Dude out. You ask who Jack Johnson is, who Sugar Ray Robinson is, who Jack Dempsey is, who Rocky Marciano is. They'll know. They're not going to say, we the first. No. They're not going to say, when you ask them, name a throwback fighter who today, they're not going to be sitting there looking stupid because they know who they are. They know their history. They know the standard from which they're coming from and what they have to uphold. Okay? Ask these young broads now. Right? Ask them. Name a throwback female fighter. And not Layla. Name a throwback female fighter. Right? Christy Martin, okay. Name a throwback fighter. Name a broad. Name one of a bad broad from back in the day that you know about that did it. Not even that, oh, you wanted to be like, right? Because, women's boxing, everybody's on some I, me. They don't even know who did it. They don't even know who put a brick down on the path that they stand on. That's what I have a problem with. And then you got dudes like Eddie Hearn who act like, oh, I'm the one who's making it. No, bitch. You're not making nothing. We're talking about people like Arnie Rosenthal, right? And I'm just naming him a ring of their own. I'm talking about people who invested their hard-earned money and lost, betting on us because people sabotaged the women's boxing movement back in those days, but we didn't stop. Us fighters, we kept going, even when the well ran dry. Even when there was nothing out there for us, we kept going. right? And now you got people like him that won't even pay homage. I'm talking about Jane Couch. He wouldn't even be able to make no damn money in the UK for none of these bitches boxing if it wasn't for Jane Couch. And you would think that he would have her at least making some money, commentating on some of these fights, you know, doing something. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Sorry about this, y'all. My phone. You see what I'm saying? Somebody wanting me out here. Somebody wanting me. But it's my time with my people. R Scarf One. Hey. All right. So you checking in tonight? All right, baby. Listen, I'm gonna turn this down. You see, somebody wants sugar out here. But it's my time to be with y'all, my misfits. R. Scarf One said Barbara Bruttrick. Okay then. And y'all know how old Barbara Bruttrick is? I think she's in her, like, I mean, you don't never talk about a lady's age. But, she's up there. She's been around. Okay? She's up there, up there. And she was a pioneer. And she wasn't the one that started the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, R. Scarf One says, hi. Hey. And then R. Scarf One says, 90s. Yeah, I think she close to her 90s. I'm not sure if she in her 90s. See, that's why I don't get in no trouble. I don't want to get in no trouble with no woman by her age. That's one thing I ain't gonna do. But I know one thing: her ass look damn good for being up there in them numbers. Cause it's some people, they can't even stand up straight. She looking fine and fly in her up there in her late 80s, early 90s. Okay? Pioneer. And a bunch of women behaved badly before she did. Right? So that's where I am. R. Scarf One says she was born in 1929. Damn, so she's almost a centurion. I hope she make it to her, to 100. That would be a big deal for us in women's boxing. She'll be our oldest living women fighter, and that's awesome, right? But I mean, she needs to be the one that ain't nobody talking to her. They talking to everybody out here fanboying and fangirling, for the new, for the latest hot piece of ass that's out here, in the boxing ring. No. And that's why I don't talk about fighters who are sub 10. And that's why I don't talk about amateurs. Because there's a commitment here. And it's not easy. It's really not. It's not easy to get up to 10 fights. It's not easy to get, sanctioned fight, I barely made it up there. Nobody wanted to fight. Like, I was blackballed. You know what I'm saying? Why nobody wanted to fight, have a real fight, right? And then when it was time for Sugar to have a real fight, it was already a plot against Suge, right? You got to go through shit. Like I saw on WBAN where Michaela Myers said, in order to be successful in women's boxing, you have to have a good team. Well, let me tell you something. I've always seen that little broad as a bullshitter. Yeah, right? She's talented, but she really be on some bullshit. But that's the realest shit I ever heard her say. Your team will make or break you, especially in women's boxing. She has a great team. You see how she bounced. She done bounced back. I think she's up there in she's trying to go for 147 now. Go fig, right? She had a team. They offered me a fight, tried to drain me just like the McCaskill team did, right? because they'll find a way. They'll find a way to they'll find a way to beat a real one, right? And if you real and you don't have a good team, that you fighting more than one person. At the end of the day, you're not just fighting one person in the ring, you fighting that person's team. And then sometimes you fighting people that's on your own team. Yeah, man. This shit is savage. This industry is savage. Especially being a woman fighter. Right? They think being a male fighter is tough. Being a female fighter is also tough. Because you got to fight for your respect. You got to fight for honesty. You got to fight for your life. Right? We had one of the fighters, McCaskill, fought. Goodness, I'm gonna look up her name. I'm gonna look her name up. Because she said something too that was profound. Alma Ibarra, great prospect. Alma Ibarra. In the fight, she said, "I'm done. I want to make it home to my child alive." She said that shit sitting on the stool in the ring. Nobody heard that damn cry for help except for the real ones. A real one. Because they set her up to possibly die in that fight. She chose her. Jeanette wasn't so lucky in Quebec. And then Alexandra that fought over there, not is it in oh goodness, I forgot her name. She hasn't fought in a long time. Over there, she got brain damage. I can't even think of her name now. Right? It's hard being a woman boxer. We get damaged. And then after it's all said and done, we can't say nothing. Right? Because nobody fights for us. We have to fight for ourselves. We have to be smart out here. We have to know what fights to take. When we show up and we see the shit happening, we see our life almost like them setting up to hurt us and to do something where our life can be severely altered. We have to find our way to survive through that shit. And some of us, we do it for a living. Sorry to get off topic, but I had to get on this soapbox because y'all look at all of these other damn shows with the nice background and the nice mic and all that shit. I come on here bareback, raw. I'm giving it to you raw, right? Like Old Dirty said, "Ooh, baby, I like it raw." Well, you gonna get it raw from Suge. Suge ain't going sugar coat it. Somebody has to speak up for the sisters. Somebody has to tell y'all how it really is out here. Somebody has to tell y'all about these paper tigers that are out here hurting other women. When we could all make money, we can all do good. We can all be successful. It doesn't have to be like this. Our Scarf One says, someone with a team can beat someone better without a team. Absolutely. That's what happens most of the time. Most of the time, you'll have a talented ass female fighter. She's good. She's good. Her ass can fight, but she ain't got no team. Then you got this punk ass fighter. Nice piece of ass. She look good. She doing what she need to do out here to get what she want. She get her a good team. She get some people and some money behind her. And now she's the champ. And she's the champ and everybody loves her. And she's getting interviewed by everybody. And she's a celebrity and everybody loves her. But don't nobody know what's really what really their champ is about, right? Because somehow, some way, you know what I'm saying? They're able to now taint women's body, make it real fake, make it a horrible place to be. I'm fighting for it to not to be. I don't believe in none of these celebrity fighter girls. I don't. I believe you got to show your work. Show your bleed in there, just like we did. Um, our scarf one says, I mean, a better boxer without a team. Yeah, I hear you, and I know everybody else out here hears you too. Our scarf one says, a team and biased judges too. It's almost impossible to overcome. Well, watch this damn fight. You'll see. The reason why I put this picture on, I mean, you know, me and my talking fight guy chose this picture because, I mean, you look at the referee is a slime ball. Look at the ref. So like, some of these fights that I watch, I don't watch it to watch the fighters. I watch how slimy the refs are, how the ref operates in there, how the judges and the ref work together. I could tell you stories about refs actually fighting me too in there, hitting me, break, elbowing me, and letting their girl back off. So I'm fighting two people at the same damn time. So I have to learn to make adjustments. So if a ref gets too close to me, back the fuck up. I got it. Yes, thank you. Right? Nobody knows about that. Nobody talks about that. Some of us can't even articulate it. When I went over to fight Fujin Riker in Japan, that bitch headbutted me like boo, boo, bam. I turned and looked at the ref. The ref looked at me like, bitch, what you gonna do? I seen it. She was right. I had to make my own. I had to make adjustments in there. So every time Fujin came in with her head, I came up with an uppercut. Bitch, eat that. Every time you come in behind your head, I got something for you. I have to know how to fight. My corner has to know what to tell me to make the adjustments. Not just to fight, but to protect myself in there, to make my fight fair. That's the seasoning. That's the seasoning I'm talking about. If Sandy Ryan had somebody with a little bit of seasoning, she'd be champion today. But she don't. And the reason why she don't is because karmatically, she needs a big slice of humble pie, right? And when the student is ready, what they say, the teacher will come. So she's still got to go back to the drawing board. Sandy Ryan has had many opportunities to learn and to grow into a champion, but she's not. And it has nothing to do with her ability as a fighter. What boxing is growth as a person. That's how you survive in there. That's how you become successful. I was a mother. So when they plotted to hurt me, when they plotted to do these things to me, I had to go home and try to be whole for my child. I had to I had to know that I had to come home with my faculties so that my child can have their mother. Because all I'm trying to do is make a living, while people out here are trying to make it so that I'm damaged. Not that our girl is good, she's going to win this fight, we worked hard. Damage me so that their girl looks good, right? I have no problem with if I get in there and you better than me and you whoop my ass, right? Because A fight, remember, we fight in 2 minutes, up to 10 rounds. You're not getting damaged like that. You get your ass beat, you'll get dropped or whatever. But when you have people now on a team plotting, right? Making sure that you don't come in, making sure you damage yourself. You come in underweight, you're dehydrated, right? Making sure you're sleeping in the fucking friggin' hallway before your championship fight in stairwells and shit. Now you're predators. And this happens every day, every week in women's boxing. That's why I don't have guests on here, because nobody wants to talk about that. No one wants to admit that they do shit like that. No one really wants to admit that those things have happened to them, because everyone has pride. Everyone wants to say, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing it well. Right? No one has the guts to stand up and say, this happened to me. And some of us don't even know better, don't know that we deserve better. So that's why I have this platform. I welcome all of my sisters in women's boxing and my brothers who support women's boxing properly to come on my platform and talk and have conversations about this. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you've experienced. Do you have the guts to speak your truth, to speak the story, to tell what's going on out here? That's where I'm at with this, right? Our Scarf One says, a team and biased judges too. It's almost impossible to also, I read that one. Our Scarf One also says, most fans and experts thought Ryan deserved to win. Yes. So most fans and experts would think that Ryan deserves to win. And if it was a boxing match, yeah, Sandy won. But this is a fight. You gotta know the difference. It's a fight. No one's counting points. It's a fight. You're in there. You're in this girl's home country. You know that she's paying for these belts. You know, because you paying for your, like, you know. So it's no longer boxing. It's a fight. You're fighting. You're fighting. Sandy Ryan was fighting for her life in there. She said it. She came back on the video and she said, that was the fight of my life. That fight, I could have changed my life. And she could have. But she didn't. There were several opportunities in that fight where if she just had enough seasoning to know how to beat this fighter in front of her, how to stop this fighter in front of her, she'd be champion right now. Seasoning. If she knew what the seasoning was, she would know how to use it, right? Because just all seasoning don't taste good, or when you put it together, it ain't good, right? So she needed to see. She went to Florida. When she did all she needed to do, she did by the book. But I know a fighter down in Florida that would have, if he trained, if he trained Sandy Ryan, she'd be champion right now. He down there. One of the baddest fighters I know. Right? Trained one of the baddest female. I mean, not trained, but was in there. Like she was a protege of him. Right? I'm not talking about Roy. Right? Down there. Would have gave her the seasoning. Would have made them collard greens nice and funky. You know what I'm saying? You got to be humble in this sport. You got to know your history. You got to know your culture. You got to know what's real out here. And when you recognize real, then you'll find real. And then you'll get real things like your belts, like your championship that you have the opportunity to work for and win. We got real ones out there. Laura Ramsey is in Florida. I don't know. Lady Ram never told me. Oh, you know who I got down here in my kitchen? Sandy Ryan. Why would you go to where all these champions are, all these truth, all these true, real people who have done it? Why wouldn't you go to their kitchen and get you some seasoning? What the fuck was you doing? Like, what was you doing out there? You know what I'm saying, Sandy? Sandy Ryan gave this fight away. Her and her people, them, you know what I'm saying? You gotta respect this game. You gotta respect this game. R. Scarf One says, Florida is one of the best states for boxing. Hello. So how she went down there and had a training camp and she couldn't find one dragon. She couldn't find one gladiator. She couldn't find one hot kitchen to season her up, to blow some fire on her. That's what I'm talking about. This that gym talk, y'all. Right? So, I mean, McCaskill got away again. She escaped again. Because this was an escape. I tell you, McCaskill was there for the taking. Flat-footed, was not in any shape. And you telling me this broad has only fought 4 times. I think 4 times in 5 years or 4 times in 4 years. This bitch fights once a year and you can't beat her? Once a year. She not sharp. She real comfortable. She soft. She not grinding no more. Life is good for her. You hungry. You supposed to be hungry. And McCaskill's there for the taking, for whoever's hungry enough. R. Scarf One says she could train with Bonnie. All right, let's talk. I didn't even mention Bonnie. Bonnie, Yvonne Reyes down there, they training dudes. Bad dudes. Sandy Ryan, because she don't respect the game. You see what I'm saying? Ain't doing no homework. So the teachers were down there. The answers were there. If she respected the game enough to know, if she knew who was there before, who did it, then she'd know who to go to. I tell you, if I could turn back time. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Tell you, boxing is a karmatic sport. If this ain't the humble pie, you know what I'm saying? If this ain't the slice of humble pie that she needs, she gonna keep eating. She gonna keep eating that pie. Start doing your history. That's the first thing I did. That's how I came upon WBAN. When I first started in boxing, I tried to learn everything I could. And not all the men. Yes, I wanted to learn all the men who did, but I wanted to learn who, if I'm able to do it, who were the women who was doing it before me and how did they do it? And I didn't, they weren't as skilled as us now. No, I was never one to say that. I was never, I've heard fighters say that, we are better, we are more skilled. No, bitch, you're not more skilled. The game done changed. You just have a different style. You're not a better fighter. Right? We've had to evolve, and we've had to metamorphosize and turn into many different things to be who we are today. And what I would say is we have digressed. Yeah. The Guat, could the Guat stand in there with Ann Wolf? Could the Guat even stand? I don't think the Guat could stand in there with Layla. She says she'd dust her. And yes, I do agree that she had every right to say that she dust Layla. But for real, no. No. Layla's 5'10". Layla was in great shape. Layla hit hard. Layla was sturdy. Layla was trained by Uncle Roger. And Uncle Roger, I've been in there. I've had some training with Uncle Roger too, right? He got that seasoning. Okay? So, digress. Lovely assistant, can you give me another image, please? R Scarf One says, I believe Ryan will learn from this and improve. It was a draw, so she should get a rematch. Yeah, she should, right? And the thing about this, that's why look at this lame ass picture. Because I would not be putting my arm around no bitch shoulder who done stole my life away from me. No. McCaskill ain't going to give Sandy Ryan the rematch. But why would you give somebody a rematch that handedly whooped your ass? I'm not saying Sandy Ryan didn't beat McCaskill. What I'm saying is she didn't beat her up. Do y'all know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about old school. It's a difference. Like, I grew up getting spankings, right? I'm old school. It was a difference. The ass whooping from mama was a different ass whooping that I got from grandma. Yeah. Grandma spoke to your damn soul. Mom, I do it again when she not looking. Grandma spoke to your soul. Grandma may let you know that God is watching and God gonna tell her and she gonna whoop your ass. So, anytime you think about trying to do what you thought you was gonna do again, you didn't. That's the difference between getting beat and getting beat up, right? So, with this situation, I don't. R Scarf One, I think Sandy Ryan should get a rematch. But they're gonna wait her out. Wait her out. Jessica McCaskill's gonna today. She's got great people who are very political in the boxing game and in the sanctioning bodies and all of that. We won't be seeing Ryan versus McCaskill. It wasn't even a big money draw like that, right? It doesn't make sense for McCaskill to fight Sandy Ryan again, but it makes a lot of sense for Sandy Ryan to try to get that match with McCaskill. I don't know. The only way that Sandy Ryan will be able to get a match with Jessica McCaskill again is if she gets a substantial amount of money and backing behind her to get those to put down on those belts to say, okay, let's do this again. It won't be off of the merit of that she's a good fighter. No, it doesn't work like that in women's boxing, for that matter. It used to, but very long time ago, but not anymore, unfortunately. But my goodness, just if you saw it, it was a fighter that, she showed up. McCaskill wasn't in no shape. And then in the ring, when Ryan was getting her up under her rib, she had the pin. Ryan was catching that rib so good that shit was stapled down. She didn't even want to move her arm. Right? She started talking to the ref like, tell her to stop hitting me. The ref come in with his little slimy ass. You see, that's why I can't watch these fights, because that's what I see, and people don't see it, right? Because the general public, they don't understand what they're looking at. That's why this platform is here. So, if you get a chance, I mean, the match isn't up and it's not available. My. I mean, isn't that a coincidence that you don't see any parts of this match out? Anyway, um, I am very grateful that I have some of my misfits that showed up. So Michael Orr, thank you for showing up, baby. Thank you, Pathist, for chiming in. And thank you, R Scarf One. Y'all know it's a party when we link up. And thank you guys, those who didn't chime in but always show up to watch Sugar. Thank you for listening. And like I said, always, I mean, if you can, drop your comments down below. As a matter of fact, I think I have some comments to respond to. So I might open my mail in the near future, you guys. I think I may open up some mail, okay? Drop me some mail in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and share this sugar. And R Scarf One, listen, I'm excited to hear about what you're going to say about your trip to the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame over there in Vegas coming up very soon. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, you guys, it's been a wonderful Wednesday. Like I said, if Sugar's face is not in the place on 7:30 on a Wednesday night, okay, know that she going to spin back the following Wednesday, just like I did this time, right? Like I said, y'all heard my phone? Y'all heard my phone? Right? My phone don't stay dry. They always be wanting me to do something. They always want me to do something. Okay? But I always take the time to try to get out here and let y'all know about what's going on, where we talk on here, talk and fight, talk women's boxing on the Natalie Sugar Brown Show. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share. I might drop in on this Friday, see what Timmy and them talking about on his show. If not, I'll see y'all next Wednesday, okay? Until then, y'all be good. Stay safe. Wait a minute, look like I got some. Oh, R Scarf One says thank you and gave me. Oh, R Scarf One says, you're welcome. I'm going to Vegas soon. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing about your trip, R Scarf One. And then R Scarf One says, thank you. Thank you, baby. Okay? Like I said, if I don't see you before next Wednesday, y'all be safe and take care of yourselves. Until then, bye-bye.